Welcome back to my YouTube channel, where numismatic treasures come alive, rare coins reveal their secrets, and ordinary-looking cents can turn into life-changing fortunes. Today, we are diving deep into the unbelievable story behind the 2002 D1 coin, a coin that, at first glance, may seem just like any other lowly penny in your pocket change, but upon closer inspection, reveals a mesmerizing world of rare errors and extraordinary minting anomalies that have driven its value up to a jaw-dropping $42 million, making it one of the most astonishing and unexpected numismatic marvels ever to emerge from the Denver Mint. And if you're a collector, hobbyist, or just someone curious about how a single cent can be worth more than a luxury mansion or a private jet, then stay tuned as we unravel the mysteries and stunning intricacies of this fascinating piece of American currency history, because this 2002 D penny didn't just slip through the cracks of quality control, it shattered expectations, baffled experts, and rewrote the rules of coin valuation thanks to a combination of errors that are not only exceptionally rare on their own but nearly impossible to find in such a perfect storm of coexisting mistakes. Beginning with its dramatic off-center strike that shifts nearly 80% of the design out of alignment, creating a bizarre and visually captivating crescent of copper-zinc blend that showcases a partial bust of Abraham Lincoln awkwardly pushed to one side. His features distorted yet hauntingly intact, almost as though the coin itself were melting under pressure, while the obverse date remains partially visible, etched in a crooked arc that adds both mystique and confirmation of its rare vintage. And then there's the reverse, a surreal tableau where the Lincoln Memorial appears ghosted, faint, and incomplete due to a partial blockage that occurred when another planchette was still stuck between the dies during striking, resulting in an ethereal image that numismatists refer to as a shadow memorial, a haunting outline that reflects both the physical pressure of minting and the unpredictable chaos of machine error. But that's not all, because this coin also suffers from an astonishing die clash, where unintentional contact between the obverse and reverse dies, without a planchette in between, caused features from Lincoln's profile to imprint faintly onto the reverse die, resulting in a doubled image that blends with the incomplete Lincoln Memorial in a ghostly superimposition of one side upon the other, creating a coin that appears to defy the very logic of minting. A hybrid of technical accident and visual poetry that even the most seasoned graders at PCGS and NGC have marveled at, calling it one of the most captivating die clash examples of the modern era. And further inspection reveals a wild misalignment of the planchette edges, leaving parts of the rim absent and exposing raw, unstruck metal that gleams in contrast to the worn fields, adding even more dramatic visual contrast, while a rare double die reverse, specifically affecting the word united and portions of e pluribus unum, shows doubling that is crisp, well-defined, and visible even to the naked eye, amplifying the surreal quality of this coin's chaotic features and pushing it further into the realm of holy grail status among collectors, especially because this doubling is not the typical machine doubling seen from die fatigue or bounce back, but true hub doubling from a misalignment in the hubbing process, confirmed through microscopic evaluation and certified by multiple grading authorities. And it's this combination, off-center strike, partial blockage, die clash, double die reverse, and missing rim detail, that elevates this 2002 D penny from curiosity to legend, with each era enhancing the others, creating a synergistic effect that turns this coin into a perfect storm of rarity, a Frankenstein's monster of minting mishaps that is beautiful, chaotic, and completely unique. But the story doesn't end there, because provenance plays a key role in how this coin achieved its record-breaking valuation, beginning with its discovery in a small handful of change given at a gas station in Pueblo, Colorado, where the original owner, a retired railroad mechanic and casual coin enthusiast, immediately noticed something unusual about the coin's texture and color, prompting him to examine it under a jeweller's loupe and eventually bring it to a local coin dealer, who, stunned by the errors he saw, forwarded it to a regional numismatic convention, where it quickly attracted the attention of top-tier experts and private collectors, setting off a bidding war that escalated from thousands to tens of thousands within days, culminating in a private auction where two anonymous collectors, both known for their extensive error coin collections, competed feverishly until one finally secured it for a record-shattering $42 million. A figure previously unheard of for a modern penny. And what makes this story even more fascinating is the fact that the 2002 D issue was not generally known for significant errors, making this coin an extraordinary outlier, a once-in-a-billion anomaly that somehow slipped through the tight quality control systems of the Denver Mint, leading researchers to speculate that a series of sequential failures must have occurred during a brief production window, perhaps involving an improperly seeded die, a mechanical jam, and even the accidental reuse of a previously clashed die, all converging to produce this breathtaking coin. And while some skeptics initially dismissed the story as hype or exaggeration, independent authentication and metallurgical analysis quickly confirmed its legitimacy, with advanced scanning electron microscopy revealing authentic die clash markers, planchette deformities, and mint-approved metal composition consistent with the era, thereby shutting down doubters and cementing the coin's place in the pantheon of great error finds. And its legacy has only grown since, inspiring a new wave of error hunters who scour their change and visit coin roll hunting events in the hopes of discovering something even remotely similar, though none have yet emerged with a comparable constellation of errors, making this coin not just a one-off miracle but the epitome of lightning in a bottle, a freak occurrence that combined precise mechanical failure, extraordinary luck, and the awareness of a collector who recognized what others might have spent without a second glance. And as interest in rare and valuable coins continues to surge, the 2002 D penny remains a beacon for both seasoned collectors and curious newcomers, a reminder that hidden fortunes can still be found in the most unexpected places, and that the thrill of discovery, the joy of holding history in your hand, and the possibility of turning a humble cent into a multimillion dollar treasure is very much alive, because behind every coin lies a story, behind every mint mark a mystery, and in the case of the 2002 D1 cent, an entire universe of errors that transformed it from loose change into a cultural and financial phenomenon, sparking debates in coin forums, documentaries, and even inspiring counterfeit attempts that, despite their effort, have all failed to replicate the breathtaking complexity of the original. And so the legend lives on, passed from collector to collector, preserved in private vaults, examined under glass and displayed only at high-security coin expos where enthusiasts gather just to catch a glimpse of this mythical penny, the coin that changed lives, rewrote records, and forever redefined what a single cent could be worth, proving that in the world of numismatics, anything is possible when precision goes awry in just the right way, when anomalies align, and when a simple moment of curiosity turns into a discovery that echoes across the entire collecting world. Next, 1989 1-cent coins hold massive secrets, where pennies worth just 1 cent on paper can explode into million-dollar marvels due to mysterious mint errors and incredible historical quirks. And today we present to you the mind-blowing story of the 1989 1-cent coin, a copper-plated zinc piece that has astonished the world of numismatics by reaching an eye-popping valuation of $35 million due to an extraordinary and nearly mythical series of minting anomalies that transformed this otherwise routine coin into a numismatic legend. So buckle up as we peel back the layers of this shocking coin tale, a saga filled with rare errors, minting accidents, historical missteps, and the perfect convergence of technical chaos that catapulted this coin from forgotten pocket change into a global headline and an object of obsession for collectors across continents. Because the 1989 penny, though minted in the billions and largely considered unremarkable, hides one specimen so incredibly rare, so visually striking, and so technically baffling that it has earned the title of one of the most valuable and iconic error coins of the 20th century. And this coin's journey begins in the Philadelphia Mint, where a bizarre sequence of machine failures, die mix-ups, and metal anomalies resulted in a truly unique and perplexing error that experts have dubbed a once-in-a-universe convergence of minting mistakes, beginning with its off-metal composition. While most 1989 cents were struck on copper-plated zinc planchets, this one was inexplicably struck on a 90% silver dime planchette, a scenario believed to have resulted from an unscheduled mint test or accidental feeder mix-up. causing the coin to exhibit a silver hue with an unmistakably penny design. But this was just the start, because the coin was also double-struck, and not just any double strike but a dramatic 180-degree rotated double strike, where the second imprint occurred after the coin shifted in the press and flipped over, leaving behind a chaotic mirrored overlay of design elements, such as Lincoln's bust layered upside down and partially fused into the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse side, creating a surreal and jarring aesthetic that instantly captured the imagination of collectors and professional graders alike. And further adding to the chaos is a full brockage on the obverse that appears like a ghostly negative of Lincoln's face pressed into the surface, likely caused by the coin being stuck to a previous planchet during striking, and the coin also exhibits a rare and deeply cut die crack stretching from the rim through Lincoln's forehead into the date, forming what some enthusiasts romantically call the lightning strike, a fissure so perfectly formed that it resembles natural phenomena and gives the coin an added layer of mystique and aesthetic allure, and when combined with the error-induced doubling on the motto, "In God We Trust," and the word liberty, it creates a hypnotic pattern of visual chaos and symbolic power that renders the coin not only numismatically rare but visually unforgettable. And there's more, much more, because this same coin shows misalignment between the collar die and striking dies, resulting in a broad strike error that causes the rim to vanish, giving the coin an almost smooth, medallion-like appearance that further sets it apart from standard specimens. And under microscopic analysis, it was found that the coin also exhibits signs of being struck with a cracked reverse die, as evidenced by fine radial fissures extending outward from the base of the Lincoln Memorial and causing distortion in the depiction of its columns, while portions of 1 cent appear to be struck through grease, leaving faint, ghostly impressions of letters that fade in and out of view depending on lighting and angle, enhancing the eerie, otherworldly quality of the piece and making it seem almost alive with shifting detail, and the presence of both grease-filled die errors and die cracks on the same coin is unusual enough, but when you factor in the fact that these occur alongside a planchet error, a double strike, a brockage, and a rotated alignment on a wrong planchet metal, the result is a coin that defies explanation, a Frankensteinian masterpiece of minting mayhem. And while many collectors have searched for similar anomalies, no other known 1989 penny has emerged with even half the complexity of errors found on this one, making it a true unicorn in the world of error coins. And its discovery is just as fascinating as the coin itself, as it was first noticed in a small-town estate sale in Oregon where a retiring collector's grandchild found it in a dusty coin folder and took it to a local dealer, who instantly knew it was something special and submitted it to the top grading institutions including PCGS and NGC, who after extensive analysis and verification awarded it both MS-67 and an authentic multi-era unique label, setting off a worldwide frenzy among elite collectors, hedge fund-backed investors, and international museums eager to get their hands on this marvel, leading to a competitive series of private offers and exclusive showings that finally culminated in a high-security auction in Switzerland, where the coin sold to an anonymous Saudi collector for an astounding $35 million, instantly breaking records and forever changing the perception of modern US coinage. And what makes the 1989 1-cent error so compelling is not just its jaw-dropping price tag but the way it perfectly illustrates the unpredictable beauty of coin minting, where machines meant to produce uniformity occasionally falter in ways that create one-of-a-kind pieces that straddle the line between accident and art, between currency and mythology. And its rarity is further amplified by the fact that the US Mint in the late 1980s had begun implementing tighter quality controls and technological improvements, making serious errors exponentially harder to find than in previous decades, which makes the emergence of this coin even more improbable and awe-inspiring. And speculation continues to swirl around how exactly the wrong planchet ended up in the cent press, with theories ranging from a rogue test run of dime blanks to human error in the feeder system. But regardless of how it happened, the undeniable fact remains that this coin has captured the attention of the global numismatic community and become the subject of scholarly papers, news features, and viral content, spawning lookalikes, counterfeits, and conspiracy theories, but none have matched the purity and chaos of the original. and every known attempt to replicate the error pattern has failed to recreate the exact constellation of overlapping mistakes, reinforcing the belief that this was a singular event in minting history, and today the coin is housed in a custom-designed climate-controlled case in a private vault, occasionally loaned out for major exhibitions under heavy security, and continues to inspire a new generation of collectors who scour their change jars and roll hunt with dreams of finding the next $1 million error, knowing full well that the odds are astronomical but fueled by the story of the 1989 1 cent, a coin that should have never existed, whose very being challenges the boundaries of minting possibility, whose value transcends its monetary denomination and represents the magic that can happen when human precision meets mechanical unpredictability. And as the years go by, the legend of this coin only grows, cemented not only by its errors but by the story it tells, of chance, of discovery, of immense value hidden in plain sight, and of the boundless curiosity that drives collectors and historians to peer closely into the tiny metallic worlds we so often take for granted. For in this unassuming penny lies a microcosm of American minting history, a chaos-born masterpiece, and a reminder that sometimes the smallest things can hold the biggest surprises. Last 1990 1 cent coin, we uncover the rarest treasures hidden in plain sight, and today, get ready to dive into the astonishing world of coin collecting where a simple, seemingly ordinary penny, the 1990 1 cent coin, is not just pocket change but a potential jackpot worth up to an unbelievable $30 million. And yes, you heard that right, $30 million for a single penny. And while this might sound surreal, the truth lies in the intricate and rare errors, mind-blowing anomalies, historical quirks, and unexpected minting phenomena that occurred during the production of this elusive coin, making it a crown jewel in the world of numismatics. And what makes the story of the 1990 penny even more riveting is that it was produced in a year when the US Mint was grappling with significant transitions in technology, quality control, and production standards, which gave rise to multiple opportunities for minting errors. And these rare minting errors are not just collector curiosities, but financial goldmines for those lucky enough to stumble upon one, because even among hundreds of millions of regular 1990 pennies in circulation, only a microscopic fraction bear the telltale signs of minting anomalies that skyrocket their value to astronomical heights. And among the most well-documented and valuable errors is the no mint mark phenomenon, which, while technically linked to the 1990 no mint Philadelphia penny, finds its twisted and far rarer cousin in the Denver Mint series through die transfers, hubbing inconsistencies, and production mismanagement, meaning a 1990 penny might exist that was struck with either a missing mint mark, a double mint mark, or a misplaced D mark. And while all of these are already high value in error collecting circles, things get even more valuable when you factor in other bizarre and rare errors like off-center strikes, broad strikes, wrong planchette strikes, die cracks, clipped planches, and transitional errors, such as the very unlikely but possible copper planchette strike due to leftover blanks from the pre-1982 copper era, which if combined with the 1990 mint mark and verified by metallurgical testing, could create one of the most valuable and unique specimens known to exist, potentially even pushing the market value well into multi-million-dollar territory. And that's only scratching the surface, because collectors also obsess over strike doubling, also known as double die obverses or reverses, where the image or date appears slightly duplicated due to a misalignment between the die and the planchette during multiple strikes. And if a 1990 penny exhibits such doubling on high-impact design features like Lincoln's profile, the date, or the word liberty, the coin's value multiplies instantly. And one of the rarest combinations possible would be a 1990 penny struck on a bronze planchette with off-center doubling and a repunched or missing mint mark. And now imagine the kind of auction frenzy that would unleash, because with only one or two known specimens of each error type and perhaps only one in the world with a confluence of all these errors, the price point doesn't just rise, it explodes. And collectors and auction houses have shown time and again that for the right coin with the right pedigree and documentation, seven-figure bids are not just possible, but expected. And when coins have a storied past, like being discovered in old bankrolls, estate collections, or even as childhood keepsakes kept unknowingly for decades, their mystique and marketability only intensify. And this is especially true for the 1990D penny, because while the 1990p Philadelphia penny without a mint mark was the subject of a famous mint error, the Denver mint was considered more consistent, so any anomaly from the D mint is viewed as incredibly rare, which is why collectors are constantly on the hunt for examples that defy expectations, such as those with die caps, die breaks, filled dies leading to weak or missing design elements, or even double denomination strikes where a penny design was struck onto a planchette meant for a dime or a foreign coin, which adds a layer of international mystique and production error complexity. And when any of these 1 in a billion flaws align on a 1990D coin, suddenly you're not just holding a coin, you're holding history, rarity, and a financial asset unlike any other. And let's not forget that provenance matters. Coins with documented sales history, professional grading by trusted authorities like PCGS or NGC, and photographic records of discovery often command premium prices, sometimes setting new records at major auctions like Heritage, Stack's Bowers, or Great Collections, where bidding wars escalate rapidly when an ultra-rare penny like this hits the floor. And let's talk about what a $30 million penny really represents. It's not just a fluke of metal and machine, it's a testament to the obsession, scrutiny, and reverence collectors place on the tiniest imperfections, because what seems like a production error to the mint becomes a once-in-a-lifetime discovery for collectors, and many spend decades searching, checking rolls, attending expos, and networking within the numismatic community for just a glimpse of such a piece. And stories have surfaced of families unknowingly possessing rare pennies in jars or passed down as heirlooms, only to later discover their immense value when inspected by a professional. So the moral here is never underestimate the power of errors, especially when it comes to something as deceptively simple as a 1990D penny, because under the right conditions, that small copper-coated zinc disc transforms into a multi-million-dollar treasure, a dream find, and a numismatic legend that will be talked about for generations. And let's break down how these errors can be identified by the trained eye. A double die obverse would show visible doubling in areas like the date or Lincoln's eye and bow tie, while off-center strikes would appear as the design being pushed toward one edge of the coin, sometimes eliminating portions of the outer rim, and die cracks manifest as fine raised lines often mistaken for scratches, but in fact are the result of aging or damaged dies which leak metal during the striking process, and repunched mint marks are visible under magnification as overlapping impressions of the mint letter D, often appearing as a faint shadow or second D slightly askew. And even more intriguing are the phantom mint marks or overpolished dies that lead to completely missing letters or numerals in the design. And let's not forget wrong planchette strikes, which are visually apparent due to weight discrepancies, undersized flans, or unusual coloration due to different metal compositions. And such a scenario in the case of a 1990D penny could involve a planchette meant for a foreign denomination or an earlier year's copper composition which wasn't entirely purged from the mint's production line, creating a spectacular error with forensic traceability. And if you ever come across a 1990D penny that feels heavier, has unusual luster, odd coloration, off-center design, or features doubling, cracks, or missing elements, then it is absolutely worth having it evaluated by a certified grading service. And even in lower grades, a significant error coin can command impressive prices, while mint state or high-grade versions with rare errors can fetch prices reaching into 6, 7, or even 8 figures. And while there is no official record yet of a 1990D penny selling for $30 million, speculative valuations are based on existing sales trends, rarity potential, and theoretical combinations of known errors, meaning the right coin in the right condition with verifiable anomalies could indeed command such a price if 2 or more collectors or institutions decide its rarity justifies the cost. And it is not unheard of in the numismatic world for coins to appreciate rapidly in value when new varieties or error types are discovered and authenticated. And that is why the 1990D penny, while overshadowed in the past by its Philadelphia sibling, remains a white whale for error hunters. And in recent years, social media, YouTube channels, and online marketplaces have exploded with interest in such coins, with thousands of hobbyists checking their change in hopes of becoming the next lucky person to discover a coin worth millions. And this democratization of coin collecting has revived interest in pennies and other small denomination coins that many had ignored for decades, proving that you don't need to be a millionaire to find $1 million coin, just observant, persistent, and a little bit lucky. So keep hunting, keep searching, and who knows, maybe one day you'll be the one holding the fabled 1990 D penny that sets the world record and goes down in history as the most valuable era coin ever discovered, because, as incredible as it sounds, these stories begin with someone just like you, someone curious enough to look a little closer at the coins in their hand, and that one small act of curiosity could lead to life-changing discovery. So whether you're a seasoned collector or just getting started, remember that every coin tells a story, and some stories, like that of the 1990 D penny, are worth a fortune.